the morning of June 30th, 1908, in the remote Siberian wilderness, the reindeer herders of Tunguska awoke to a sky unlike any they had ever seen. At first, it was only a glow, a strange shimmer above the forest. Then the light grew, filling the heavens with fire. Moments later, the earth itself shook. An explosion, louder than any cannon, brighter than any lightning, tore through the silence of the taiga. Trees were flattened for miles. Animals perished instantly. The blast waves circled the globe, rattling barometers and startling scientists thousands of miles away. And yet, no crater was ever found, no smoking rock, nothing to explain the force of 1,000 atomic bombs. Local Evenki tribes and Russian settlers told stories passed down in whispers. A ball of fire that streaked across the sky. A pillar of flame rising higher than the trees. The sky burning, followed by a roar like the earth tearing apart. One man was thrown from his chair as heat scorched his skin. Another, 40 miles away, felt the blast break windows and set the air aflame. Survivors spoke of glowing skies for weeks, strange lights that turned night into day. Some said they saw figures in the fire, shapes in the heavens, watching. When expeditions finally reached the site years later, they found devastation beyond comprehension. 80 million trees flattened in a radial pattern, pointing outward from a central point. The forest floor charred, as if licked by a fire too brief to burn deeply. Reindeer carcasses, long decayed, scattered like broken dolls. And yet, at ground zero, there was nothing. No crater, no meteorite, just a swampy marsh, eerily quiet. Scientists scrambled to explain. Some argued it was a meteorite airburst, exploding in the atmosphere before impact. Others suggested a comet of ice, vaporizing before it struck. But the lack of any debris, no fragments, no minerals, no trace, left them baffled. Soon, darker ideas began to circulate. Theory 1. In the early 20th century, whispers spread of inventors and scientists experimenting with forces beyond comprehension. Some claimed Nikola Tesla, with his wireless energy tower, had tested a new weapon, a beam of power aimed at the Arctic that instead struck Siberia. Could the Tunguska blast have been the first man-made catastrophe on a global scale? Theory 2. The even stranger theory. Witnesses described a craft, metallic and glowing, that moved with intention before the blast. Some researchers later speculated that an extraterrestrial ship had detonated in the sky. The forest, they argued, was not destroyed by nature, but by something that did not belong to Earth. Theory 3. The Evenki people told older legends of angry gods who sent fire when the balance was broken. Hunters spoke of spirits descending in fire, punishing the land. For them, Tunguska was not science, but a reminder. There are powers above humanity, and sometimes they choose to show themselves. Decades later, expeditions uncovered even more disturbing signs. Patches of soil with traces of rare metals not native to the area. Witness accounts of skin burns and radiation-like sickness among animals and hunters. Strange mutations in plants and insects near ground zero. And most haunting, in the center of the blast, a small cluster of trees still standing, untouched, as if shielded by something invisible. For weeks after Tunguska, skies in Europe and Asia glowed as if lit by phantom suns. In London, people read newspapers at midnight without lamps. In New York, strange silver clouds stretched across the horizon. It was as though the earth itself had been scarred, a wound in the atmosphere, bleeding light. No exact death toll was ever confirmed. The region was too remote, the records too few. But Evenki elders spoke of entire hunting parties lost, of villages burned to ash, of shadows seared into the ground where people once stood. Russian officials silenced many reports. To this day, no full accounting exists. The Tunguska event remains unsolved. Even now, over 100 years later, the craterless explosion defies full explanation. Perhaps it was a cosmic accident, a comet meeting its end in Earth's atmosphere. Perhaps it was something else, a warning, a weapon, or a visitation. What makes Tunguska terrifying is not only its scale, but its silence. The forest grew back, but twisted. Animals returned, but strange. The land healed, but never fully. And the question remains, if it happened once, could it happen again? The taiga holds its secrets close. No monument marks the dead, no answers comfort the living. The earth was struck by something vast, something violent, and the world never learned what it truly was. In the stillness of Siberia, when the night glows faintly and the trees whisper in the wind, locals still look to the heavens with fear. Because on June 30th, 1908, the sky opened, and for a few burning seconds, the world was reminded how fragile, how powerless we truly are.